Okay, here's my second blog. Feels pretty weird talking to a phone, yada yada yada. But I've got the feeling to do a concept of self-love and healing. No part of me wants to do this. I'd rather take the piss out of as many people as possible. But this is a concept that I've found that comes up in healing stuff quite a lot, and I've found it pretty useful in my own life and with clients I've had with music healing. So basically, pretty much all of patterns and conflicts and emotions that people carry into their adulthood seem to stem from this feeling of the child needing love. So like whether it's criticism, agitation, frustration, there's always this inbuilt thing in someone where they need this feeling to feel love. And so like at an early age they learn that if I do this, this and this, then I'll get love. And so as an adult we carry these emotions in the body and these feelings of needing this thing. So with some of us this makes us criticize ourselves because we think, okay, if I punish myself then at some level I'll get love. If I achieve more at some level I'll get love. But all this creates is anxiety and feeling of self-loathing, feeling of not good enough, feeling of punishment, sometimes anger, frustration. All these things is kind of like the inbuilt person inside trying to feel love. And it's really strange because when I kind of got onto this concept, I just started practicing with that part of myself that just always felt pissed off, felt anxious, felt not good enough, felt annoyed at everything. And I realized that that part of myself was kind of looking for that approval. It's almost like an identity in itself. And I started just trying to be loving to it and trying to give it compassion and as if it was something real. And I noticed that I attracted less arseholes in my life. Not completely, but less fuckwits, less arseholes, less mean relationships. Better things sort of came to me. I earned more money naturally, although things could be a bit better at the moment. And different events started to unfold in a better way because it was just kind of like this nurturing relationship to an inner self seemed to be coming back to me from the outside world. And so I just started practicing this from an altered state, like from a relaxed state, from an alpha state, from a delta state. It doesn't matter really what you call it. It's basically about being your physiology, your fight or flight's low. You're in a receptive state. You're more like a child where you're just feeling stuff and you're just in that state of embodiment and you're able to experience life rather than be in your head. And so the best way that I've found to do that is to do, like get yourself into a state of calm, feeling peace, feeling good. And then when you're in that state, embody this feeling of love, this feeling of kindness, this feeling of nurturing to your body, and you just say it to your body, you just say it to that inner self, as if that inner part of you is real and matters. And what I found is that my body would settle down and it would feel better. The agitation, the annoyance, and different things like this would seem to settle. And then the outside world would seem to kind of resolve itself. So relationships that I got stuck in, that had pissed me off, that annoyed me, frustration with different jobs not being acknowledged, no one giving a fuck, like earning fuck all money when I know I'm kicking ass, like all those sorts of things seem to resolve themselves when I was just kind of nurturing to that inner sort of state. So basically like an inner state it's almost like it gets trapped in the body, and then it's just sitting there, and then you sort of have to be kind to it, be loving to it, and then somehow, by some fuck knows how, this relationship that gets resolved, suddenly stuff starts coming to you in ways that you'd never expect. You don't feel so annoyed at traffic lights or in traffic jams or a whole range of stupid bullshit situations don't annoy you, and you just feel loving to them, and you feel more connected with nature. You notice stuff more, you have more fun with kids, you have more fun in general. So I just noticed when I practiced that loving sort of embodiment, it just made everything right. And one thing I've always realised, and this is something I've said before, but basically, like, when you practice that state with yourself, the outside world reflects that back to you, and everything starts to flow better. So if you have a problem in your life, what I used to do was I used to try to fix it, solve it, try to work it out, try to make it right, try to think it through, and it just would make the quicksand deeper and deeper and deeper, and I just sunk and sunk and sunk, and it never worked. And then I just get lost in it. I studied psychology, and I studied every fucking thing under the sun, and it never fixed it. You know, I got A for effort, but fucking F for fuck ups, right? So like it just never fixed it. So basically, when now I get stuck in some sort of kind of thought loop, some sort of negative pattern, some sort of self-annihilation, you just embody that feeling of love, and somehow it seems to fix situations beyond your control. And I'm talking about situations that are so stupidly unrelated, like Telstra outsourcing, you know, their $1 an hour Filipino workers, you know, in a chat queue, and you spending 2 hours waiting for them, and then suddenly they answer the phone because you've got this feeling of love in you. Makes no sense. But it seemed to be that when I was more harmonious for myself, the outside world just seemed to come back. When I was pissed off, all these things would just not work. And so I started to make this as a practice. I'd wake up, I'd use music, I'd use calm, I'd use relaxation. So it's like treating the body as if it's a real entity, as if it's something that needs to be nurtured and kind to, as if it's like a living organism, which it completely is, but as if it's like a separate thing. And I just do this, and even though I didn't think it would work, I think, well, I've spent 30 fucking years doing therapy and meditation and all this other crap, hasn't done shit, so I'm going to try this, and then you know, see what happens. I've got nothing to lose, you know, like I'm way behind the 8 ball. So I would do this, and it seemed to have this magical effect. And one of the really nice things was that I would find in benign situations that I would light other people up. And I'd think, wow, you know, I was always used to being the morbid one with my morbid music, and I'd light other people up, and it really kind of felt good. It felt kind of nice to lift other people when they felt down. Like I'd notice it when I'd go to fitness things or whatever, or gym, or just sort of any sort of little group things. Not that we can do groups anymore. But I just find that I lifted other people, and it was because my internal relationship had improved a bit, and it just started with this self-love thing. So basically, long story short, spent 9 minutes crapping on. Long story short, I'm going to give you between 5 and 10 minutes of self-love practice. And if you feel, again, it's like other stuff I've done, just fuck it off if you don't think it's going to help you. I don't give a shit. But basically, like, the purpose of this is I play very, very soothing music, calm your body, get your body feeling as if there's kindness there, as if there's nurturing there, as if someone gives a shit. And then the music opens up your heart, and then when your heart is open, your mind can receive ideas. And when your mind can receive ideas, you can feel like that part of you that feels self-loathing, hatred, all this other shit, when you're giving it love, it's like something feels resolved, and then that thing feels calm once it gets that love. So try this for, I'll probably do 7 or 8 minutes or whatever, up to 10 minutes. It's going to be very, very short. You could try it in the car, you could try it any way you want. But just test it in a real way. Like if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I found like when I gave it a shot, it would sort of, some part of me just felt like it got the thing it needed. So if you feel like it helps, if you try it once and you feel like it helps you, then just try it again. Try it maybe for 4 or 5, if you feel like it keeps on helping you, just try it for 4 or 5 days and just watch what happens in your outside world. Because what I've found is that when I do these practices, my outside world fully changes and magic starts to enter into my life, and it just feels like such a relief, because in my life I spent so much time trying to fix stuff, trying to work it out, and I have a good mind, but it basically didn't do shit. Didn't do anything. It didn't solve anything at all, right? So basically, but the embodiment of that feeling, that inner thing, inner child that's trying to feel that, when it felt the love, when it felt acceptance, when it felt that, it would like, some part of me just felt like it could release, right? And so I'm gonna do this meditation exercise, and if you notice a difference, all I'm suggesting is that you try it once, and if it doesn't work, fuck it off. And if it works, just that once, only once, and only if it pushes the bar up just a little bit, just slightly better, then try that for 4 or 5 days, once or twice a day. This is only 10 minutes. And just notice if there's an effect in your life, because I've studied so much fucking shit. It's unbelievable. You'd feel sorry for me if you knew actually how much shit that I'd studied. So, but this has been a total game changer. Self-love comes back to core stuff that happened when you were 3 or 4 years old that you can't explain with your logical mind. And when that part of you feels okay, that's been sitting there for all that time, suddenly life changes. So what I'm suggesting is just for that period of time, try it once. If you feel like there's some movement, then try it for 4 or 5 days and watch your world open up. One of my followers, Lani Metcalf, is going to donate $1,000. That's from her counselling practice. If this doesn't work for you, Lani Metcalf is going to donate $1,000 if this process doesn't work for you, okay? So that's one of our little sponsors we've got involved in this process. Yeah, so get into the meditation now. It's about 10 minutes. See if it works for you and let me know. I really hope it works, but it's 100% works for me and 100% works for clients. And I've worked with massive trauma clients who've had all sorts of shit happen to them. So don't think your shit is any worse than their shit. So yeah, it's not a shit competition. So try it, 10 minutes, let's give it a crack.
Get in a relaxed position and connect in with your breathing. Breathe right down into the bottom of your stomach. And just notice how your body is feeling. Notice any emotions in your body. And notice what the thoughts are. Notice how your body feels. And let that be okay. Bring love to that. It's okay to feel. I'm gonna let myself feel. It's okay to feel. And when you say that, notice how your body responds. It's okay for me to feel. We're just going to bring love into the body. Anywhere that needs it. If there's anywhere in the body that's not quite right, or there's some difficult emotion, we're going to say it's okay. We're going to bring love there. And so breathe into that part of the body, anywhere you feel. And as you breathe in, just say, I love you. Breathing in, I love you. I love you. I love you. And noticing how the body responds to that. I love you. And now, we're going to bring a beam of light into the body. Whatever colour is right for you. We're going to shine this light into the forehead like a beam into the forehead, as if it's coming from outer space. And this light will have a certain feeling that will bring you what you need. And as you breathe in and bring this light into the body, just say, I love you. Breathing in, I love you. Breathing in, I love you. And as the music plays, let yourself keep on breathing in, I love you. Breathe in, I love you. Breathe in, I love you. Breathe in, Breathe in. I love you. 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 I love you. I love you.